I'm asking you because you went on the air 2 days ago and definitively said the Milwaukee Bucks are winning the title. It don't matter whether KD comes back or not. All right, then. So I'm just saying, if that's your position, I don't want to hear you saying, oh, they could lose. No, you said you got Milwaukee. That's where we are.
Correct.
The reason I'm bringing that up is because, let me tell you something. I'm very clear. Warriors can't win this title without KD. They ain't beating Milwaukee. They're not beating Milwaukee without KD. If the Warriors don't have Kevin Durant, they are losing the championship. Period. And because of that, that's a big reason why this injury definitely affects the Warriors more so than KD. Secondly, let's harken to free agency, or let's move forward to free agency. Why is that relevant? Kevin Durant is expected to be a free agent. You know what we never bring up, Max and Molly? He's got to play an option. He's got to play an option. If Kevin Durant decides, if it's an Achilles or if it's a tear that's so bad in the calf, whatever it is, whatever people believe, if it's so bad that he is hindered from playing next season, what's to stop him from exercising his option as a player, you understand, and taking the $31.5 million on the books for him next season as a player option? He ain't going to sit up there and be a free agent and then, I think that anybody would give him the money. Please don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is that we forget he has the option as a player if for any reason he cannot play next season. And he thinks that's going to compromise him in free agency. I don't, you don't. Anybody with sense wouldn't think it's going to compromise him. But if he were to believe that, there's nothing stopping Kevin Durant from saying, I can't play anyway, but I'm going to exercise this player option and at least get insured on this $31.5 million that I'm owed for next season and do it that way. So if you're the Golden State Warriors, think about it. Even if KD stays, all right, you're about $4 million over the cap. The salary cap is projected to be about $109 million for the 2019-2020 season, if I remember correctly. They're committed to about $113 million. So there's not but so much wiggle room. Plus, they got to sign Clay to a max deal in all likelihood. So they're not going to have any room to go out there
that's good for the
and
Warriors,
get anybody else.
Well, you're arguing my point. That's good for the Warriors. Because what you're saying is, if the Warriors can somehow retain KD, like you've been talking the whole time about, well, they could just replace KD. What about AD? My point is, after you pay Steph and Clay, how do you afford another max guy, especially with Draymond on the books? And where are your assets to make a trade to bring in a guy of AD or someone like that caliber? It'd be very hard. So they really need to retain KD to remain the dynastic Warriors. My point is, if this allows them to retain KD, it's good for them.
No, Max, not if he can't play.
Well, let's say half the season. Or let's say he can play, but toward the end of the season.
Hold it, wait a minute. I specifically stated that if he can't play, that's when he could exercise his player option. There's no way he would opt in if he can play.
So stay right there. Let's say he doesn't play next year, so he exercises his option. Now he's on the Warriors. Remember, they're the only ones who can offer him the Supermax anyway. Now he's getting a little older. Let's say the Warriors don't win the championship, as you claim, without him, and don't win it again. Has he kind of proven his point that they need him? Now he's looking at his own mortality as a player and says, man, I'm 32, 33 before I can get back to being KD. I don't have a lot of time left. I'm on the clock. I got to win championships. I want to stay right where I am. In other words, I believe that this injury, if it's worse than they're claiming, is actually good for the Warriors long term. Good for the Warriors.
No, because I'm saying you're going to lose the championship without him. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying you're going to lose the championship without him, and you're not going to have him next year. That's the claim I'm making. I'm claiming you're going to lose, and not only that, if he's injured next year, you wouldn't have him on the court. If he's healthy, he'll be gone. That's what I'm claiming.
Question.
Why are you making me explain it 3 times when you know my voice is compromised? Why are you doing that? I was very clear.
Here's a question. Would you rather get to the finals and lose this year if it meant retaining KD going forward, if it upped your chances of retaining him going forward? Or would you rather win the title this year and then lose KD?
No. I'm trying to win the chip because I know I'm going to at least be a contender without him as long as I keep the Splash Brothers intact. So I'm going for the chip now. I'd rather have him for the chip right now.
Understand what you're talking about. They're not going to win without him. the Bucks are probably only going to get better. The league is getting better. So if you don't think they can win it this year without KD, and they're going to be capped out anyway, how are they going to win without him going forward?
No. See, that's you being slick. That's
Sure,
a different question. That's a different question. The question that I address is that you want KD now, if you can have him, to win the championship now. You can be a contender that comes up short in the future, but you need to win the chip now. So if I had a preference, I would want him now, and I'm not worried about next year.
That's what I'm saying. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. I'm saying, man, there might be a handful left in those bushes if you keep KD. If I was the Warriors, that's what I'd really be thinking about. And they have a puncher's chance. Even if you think, well, you can say, well, they can't win without him. They've done it before. They still have a puncher's chance. Now, KD affects them in myriad ways, Stephen A., especially with respect to depth. They had to sacrifice depth to get him in the first place. Then they have Boogie Cousins. He's gone. Now KD's gone. So they're really thin on the bench. But I will remind you, Steph is a champ. Clay is a champ. They've been playing like it. Iguodala is a champ, and as you know, with older players, as you say, religiously harp on this. Iguodala's not what he was. Livingston's not what he was, and it's the same thing in the fight game. Great players, like fighters, they can't sustain it forever, but they can still, when you need it most, give you those flashes of brilliance, as you saw last night from Iguodala against Lillard with the game on the line.
I would tell you this. People need to start showing their bench a little bit more respect. Looney, McKinney, Bell, Quinn Cook, these guys have come off the bench over the last 3 games and produced for the last 3.5 games and produced for this team. We can't forget that.